Hey, what's up folks? This is Keith. You're watching Barbour's Auto Help. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I want to address some questions that I've been receiving concerning the infamous Ford 3.5 liter Ecoboost cam phaser rattle situation. I recently made a video on this and I've been getting some comments concerning this issue, and a lot of people want to know alternative solutions and they want to know, can this cause severe engine damage? Well, in this video, I want to give you my take on that and share with you some of the experiences I've had. So let's go ahead and get into it. So can this particular issue cause severe engine damage? And for the longest time, to be honest with you, I didn't really think so. The 3.5 liter Ecoboost is really a tough engine. It's almost bulletproof. I have not seen a lot of failures with these engines, pretty tough cookies. The only weak point, of course, is the cam phasers, in my opinion. And I've done a lot of cam phaser replacements due to the cam phaser rattle upon startup. Got a lot of experience with this, but for the longest time, I really didn't think it was an issue. I really didn't think that was going to cause any harm to the engine. However, as time went on, I've seen more things, and my position on this has changed a bit. Now, it's very rare that anything could happen from the cam phaser rattle upon startup. For the most part, 9 times out of 10, actually 9.9 times out of 10, you're not going to have major engine failure due to this situation. However, I have seen a couple of instances where the cam phaser has exploded, and like you see right here, this is my most recent experience. You can see that the front of this cam phaser basically has a hole in it where the locking pin ejected from the front of the cam phaser, and that sent metal throughout the engine. You can see inside the VCT solenoids here, you got a lot of metal inside there. And I also took an oil sample. There's a lot of metal flake inside that oil sample that you can see as well. The cam caps were pretty scored, and also the cylinder walls were pretty scored. So this particular engine that I'm showing you footage of right here needs to be replaced. Now, was that caused by a failure with the VCT phaser, cam phaser, or was there something else going on here? Now, in this particular instance, there was another issue that this engine had. It had an oil leak on the left valve cover. The 17s and 18s, that's the years of the 3.5 liter Ecoboost, they are plagued with oil leaks coming from the left valve cover towards the front of the valve cover near to the VCT solenoids. There's a hairline fracture that starts to develop at the front there, and it leaks oil. In the case of this engine, they had a pretty severe oil leak, so there's a good chance this engine may have been run low on oil at one point. I'm not sure. When it came to me, it was full of oil though, and it doesn't look like that they just had the oil changed. So I'm thinking maybe something else was going on there. Maybe the phaser was the root cause of the failure here. But at either rate, in my opinion, I'd say the best thing to do is err on the side of caution and don't let it go. The thing's knocking around, for crying out loud. So it's metal to metal contact that's happening when this rattle occurs. So it's bound to be doing something. At least it's putting a little bit of metal into the system, and metal inside your oil system is not a good thing. So I would err on the side of caution and address the situation. Replace the cam phasers, but replace the cam phasers with the updated cam phaser part number. Ford has updated these phasers, I think about 1.5 years ago, and every set of phasers that I've put on using this part number right here, I've not had a comeback. So it looks like this may be the fix. Time will tell, but so far so good. And I've not heard of anybody else receiving comebacks from putting this particular part number on. So if you do the job, have the updated parts put on. Now, I've also gotten the question, is there anything I can do to circumvent having the VCT phasers replaced? There are some things you can do, and one of them I'm not very familiar with. I've done a little bit of research on it, and I'll do a little bit more for you. But there is a system that you can hook up to your engine that basically keeps all the oil pressure built up inside the cam phasers so that you don't get that harsh noise when you first crank up the engine. Do your own research on that, of course. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with it, and I'm not vouching for any particular product, but I just wanted to share that information with you because that could possibly be a viable option for you in this situation. And if anybody out there is watching this video and you have used those particular systems, please let me know down in the comments. Let us know, and let us know what your experience is with that. Now, there's also some comments I've been getting where people are claiming that you just go ahead and put the engine in clear flood mode, crank the vehicle, and then start it, and you don't have any issues. And basically what you do with the clear flood mode there, how you get the vehicle into that, is you press the brake pedal, you press the accelerator pedal all the way to the floor, and then you crank the engine. And when you do that, it won't allow the engine to start. So it's basically just clearing out the cylinders, clearing a flood per se, and allowing you to crank the engine without it actually starting. And that could build oil pressure into the phasers before the engine actually starts up, preventing the noise from happening. Now, I don't necessarily think that that's a viable option for you. As you noticed at the very beginning, that example I gave you of the Rattle, it was rattling before the engine actually started up. You could hear while it was cranking, the things were knocking around inside there. So it's going to create damage regardless if you got it in clear flood or not. It just won't be as loud when it finally starts up. So that's my take on it, guys. As always, do your own research, but I sincerely hope that this video was a help to you and it cleared some things up. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I'll be happy to get to you whenever I can. Also, please read the entire description down below this video before you apply any of this knowledge. There may be some things I need to clarify. That's where I do that. And also read the disclaimer at the very end. And like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.